The buzz surrounding our state's first in the South Republican primary continues to grow. Despite Mitt Romney's win last night in Iowa, the race here in South Carolina is still wide open.
Romney edged out Rick Santorum by only 8 votes. Both took 25% of the tally. Ron Paul was third and Newt Gingrich came in fourth. Rick Perry finished in 5th place, with Michelle Bachmann coming in 6th place and dropping out of the presidential race. And John Huntsman finished with only 1% of the vote.
News 19's Jennifer Bellamy joins us now with more on how the race and its results will impact us here in the Palmetto State.
Well, we can look forward to seeing some of those candidates here very soon, and SCGOP Chairman Chad Connelly says them coming here ahead of the New Hampshire primary shows how important South Carolina is. Now, he says Republican voters want to see, meet, and shake the hands of people that could become the country's next commander-in-chief, and he believes that visibility will play a key role in who walks away with South Carolina's choice. Now, Connelly says since last spring, Rick Santorum has visited South Carolina 26 times. That's more than any other candidate. Newt Gingrich follows with 19 stops. Mitt Romney made 11 trips. John Huntsman is close behind, coming in with 10 visits. Rick Perry and Ron Paul round out the list with 6 and 4 stops respectively. Connelly says he expects more than 450,000 voters to head to the polls on January 21st for South Carolina's race. He says with the state's 30-year history of picking the eventual Republican presidential nominee, candidates know how important winning the state is.
Last night, Iowa's vote and that close election of the caucus showed us 2 points. Is candidates have to spend time on the ground campaigning. That's not a lost art. And the second thing, this race is wide open. To have them come here ahead of the New Hampshire primary is a little bit indicative of how important they see South Carolina and the role that we play.
Now, as we mentioned earlier, after a poor showing in her own home state of Iowa, Minnesota Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann dropped out today. She stood with family members this morning as she made her announcement to end her campaign. She said she had no regrets and ran her race with integrity. Bachmann had originally planned to campaign in South Carolina starting today.
Last night, the people of Iowa spoke with a very clear voice, and so I have decided to stand aside. And I believe that if we are going to repeal Obamacare, turn our country around and take back our country, we must do so united.
And Bachmann said she would support the party's nominee, but didn't comment about throwing her support behind anyone else. Meanwhile, Texas Governor Rick Perry says he's still in the game. Before Bachmann even took the stage, Perry's official Twitter account sent out a tweet about his plans, saying, "And the next leg of the marathon is the Palmetto State. Here we come, South Carolina." Perry was also expected to begin campaigning here in South Carolina today, but canceled all his events for the rest of the week after the Iowa caucus until further notice. He could come back to resume his bid for the presidency sometime next week. Now,